In this video, we're going to practice some algebra by expanding some polynomials. This is good practice for when you want to check your answers once we start getting into the different factoring techniques. So here we have a binomial multiplied by a trinomial. So we need to multiply everything, we need to multiply the first term in the binomial by everything in the trinomial. So that's what we're going to do first. So we're going to multiply the 2h by h squared. When we do that, we get 2h cubed. So you multiply the coefficients by each other, and then you multiply the h's together. And when you multiply things with the same base, you add the exponents. So there's an imaginary 1 on the 2h, so like right here. So 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. So that's why when you multiply h by h squared, you get h cubed. So we have 2h cubed, and then we multiply the 2h by the 3h. So same thing, here we get 6h squared. So 2 times 3 is 6, and then the h times the h is h squared. 2h multiplied by negative 4 is negative 8h. And now we do the same thing, except now we have to multiply the 5, so the second term of the binomial in front, by everything in the trinomial. So multiply the 5 by the h squared, multiply the 5 by the 3h, and multiply the 5 by the negative 4. So 5 multiplied by h squared is just 5h squared. 5 times 3h is 15h. And 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. So now at this point, we need to combine any like terms. So we can look at 2h cubed. There are no other cubed terms, so we can just bring the 2h cubed down. And I just like to cross it out just to show that we've dealt with it. So now, what about h squared terms? Here's an h squared term, and here's an h squared term. So we have 6h squares and 5h squares. So that's 11h squared. So now I'll get rid of those. We've dealt with those. Next we have the h term, so we have negative 8h and plus 15h. So negative 8h plus 15h is going to be 7h. And then all we have left is the subtract 20 at the end. And we're done. Let's do one more. So here in example 2, we have 2r plus 5t all squared. So again, just before we, make a mistake here, because it's a very common mistake that people like to make with this type of question, let's think about what something squared means. So if we have something as simple as 5 squared, for example, what is 5 squared? Well, when we square something, it just means we want to multiply it by itself. So that's the same thing as 5 times 5, which we know is just 25. So in this example, instead of, the common mistake that people make is they want to just square each of the terms, right? They square the 2r and they square the 5t. You can't do that. So using the concept I just talked about, when we square something, we're just multiplying it by itself. So I'm going to rewrite this like that. So 2r plus 5t all squared is the same thing as 2r plus 5t multiplied by 2r plus 5t. And now we're just going to go through the exact same process that we did in the previous question, where we multiply each term in the first binomial by each term in the second one. So we're going to go like here and here. So 2r multiplied by 2r is 4r squared. 2r multiplied by 5t is going to be 10 RT. and then we have to multiply the second term by each of the terms in the second one. So 5t plus 2r, 5t multiplied by 2r is another 10rt. And then 5t multiplied by 5t is going to be 25t squared. So again, just a reminder, you multiply the coefficients together, so 5 times 5 is 25, and then you multiply the t's together, which becomes t squared. So now let's combine like terms. There's only two like terms here, so we still have the 4r squared out front, then we have 20rt, and then we have the 25t squared at the end. All right, and that's it.